How many of you were left in an eternal abyss after the Game of Thrones finale? Or something close to that? HBO's recent hit House of the Dragon has been the talk of the town, and rightfully so. A common theme in this fantasy genre had been the old-style fighting among the knights. We enjoyed our fair share of fights during GOT, but House of the Dragon has stepped up the bar. Stick around as we look into this series' 10 strongest physical fighters. First up, Sir Carl Corey. We know Sir Carl is better known for his flirtatious personality, but that's unrelated to his awesome fighting skills. He's normally goofing around with the king consort, but when it's showtime, it's showtime. They put on their game faces and hardly shy away from showing off their speed. It's safe to say Carl knows what he's doing. His experience as a soldier offers him somewhat of an upper hand as well. Not only that, but he has already sharpened his sword in the Triarchy, if you know what I mean. Besides his physical fighting skills, Sir Carl is quite the smart lad. An important factor for surviving in Westeros is intellect, and Carl has no trouble in that area. He knows how to deal with all the politics, which, to be honest, is possibly a far greater deal than being able to know your way around a sword.
Why are you in my father's hall? You have always looked down on me.
Up next, Sir Laenor Velaryon. Sir Laenor's arrogant attitude will likely set you off initially, but don't fall for this act. He's nowhere near this lazy aristocrat. We all remember his role in the Triarchy War, fighting on the front line with the help of his dragon, Sea Smoke. Without Sir Laenor's tremendous bravery and skill, it's possible the Triarchy War could have taken a very different turn. Thank you, Sir Laenor. We fully appreciate you. As for his journey in the Free Cities, we can hope his sword skills have his back. As far as respect is concerned, Sir Laenor's boldness and strength have taken his side. If he could earn Daemon's respect, it's safe to assume that this man is capable of great things.
War is afoot again in the Stepstones, Rhaenyra. The Triarchy takes new life from its alliance with Dawn.
And now, Lord Corlys Velaryon. What makes a good fighter? Knowing how to work your way around a sword? Well, that sounds like the most reasonable answer. A combination of strength and intellect makes one a good fighter. Lord Corlys is the perfect example, harboring these two qualities. His love for his family allowed him to pass down his amazing capabilities, and made him pick up a few traits from his son. His fearless fighting in the Triarchy War earned him a reputable title. Lord Corlys shows us what it means to embody vigor and reason regardless of age. That's how he achieved the Master of Ships title as well. It was sad to see him have a tragic death during the Second Triarchy War, but we got much to learn from the man.
To install your daughter as heir. Yet you dare tell me who deserves to inherit the name Velaryon?
Don't go anywhere yet. We know you've eagerly awaited us to introduce the Targaryens. Up next, Aemon Targaryen. A sad and disgruntled child, often on the receiving end of bullying, Aemon was never off to a good start. The only child who did not have his dragon felt left out countless times. Things started changing for Aemon when Laena, his aunt, passed away, and her child Vhagar the dragon was left motherless. Soon after this tragedy, Aemon rose to be a rather dangerous young man in Westeros, spending most of his time taming the lonely dragon. How can we forget Aemon's trainer, Sir Criston Cole, one of the best knights in Westeros? That has to be a plus point for Aemon. We haven't seen Aemon's full potential yet, but from what we know, he will achieve some master levels. And now Sir Harold Westerling. Old age isn't necessarily unfavorable, especially in a profession where it is extremely easy to get killed. There's a reason why Sir Harold is still alive, and that's because he didn't get his throat slit in wars and battles. While we rarely see Sir Harold partaking in any fights, our rationality tells us that he had to have been one of the most skilled fighters, which led him to be appointed as a bodyguard. Men seem to fear this old man, even one of the greatest fighters, Sir Criston Cole. Let's not forget his expression when he was faced with Sir Harold. He holds a high rank standing and a level of respect unachieved by many. Hats off to Sir Harold for coming this far. Had it been any of us, we wouldn't have lasted 2 seconds in a battle, but this old knight managed to keep going for years.
I am your Lord Commander, Sir Criston. Cast down your sword.
I will not suffer insults to Her Grace the Queen.
Up next, Sir Eric Cargill. The Cargill family is quite a loyal lot. Following his brother's footsteps, Eric is also a part of the Kingsguard. His naiveness can be questioned, though. If you remember his interaction with Otto Hightower, Eric obeyed his orders without a second thought and brought him Aegon. What was surprising was the way he kept his demeanor when face-to-face with Sir Criston Cole. Despite his effort, he could not defeat the very talented Sir Criston. It's an honor to serve the Kingsguard regardless of the differences in perception of the word itself. Sir Eric proved his worth and strength by upholding a high honorary standard, which was lacking quite a lot during Joffrey's time.
Where's your brother, huh?
Let me go! Brother!
And now, Sir Eric Cargill. First things first, why are both of these brothers named so similarly? Sometimes it feels as though R.R. Martin likes to complicate things for us. Jokes apart, Sir Eric is the perfect definition of honor. Honor meant something else to Sir Eric Cargill. He was sworn to Prince Aegon and was plagued by the prince's degeneration. The prince's past had been so grim that Sir Eric was reluctant when it came time to find him. Only his honor prevented him from defeating Aegon himself. Ultimately, he chose to follow a code of honor, not bound by a king who had no appreciation for it. Eric's calm demeanor was shown when he watched his brother get defeated at the hands of Sir Criston, and he released Rhaenys from captivity. There are many qualities to appreciate about Sir Eric. His perseverance. While his brother is more naive, Sir Eric's smartness only gives him the slightest advantage over his brother.
I want my mother. Your grandfather the Hand will meet you outside the city wall.
Up next, Sir Harwin Strong. There's a reason why this man's nickname was Breakbones. We sure you can decipher the meaning independently without our help. Widely known as the strongest knight in the series, Sir Harwin is arguably the strongest. Despite his title and fearless nature, he wasn't considered among the best fighters. While his power and strength go unmatched, Sir Harwin wasn't the brightest, and we've talked about this before. It's not just the skill of the sword that makes one the best fighter. It takes a good amount of sensibility too. Nobody matched his levels of absurdity in his relationship with Rhaenyra. He put himself in so much danger that he eventually lost his life. There weren't many on-screen fighting scenes of Sir Harwin, but it's alright. We believe his reputation had a reason behind it.
Be good to your mother, lads. I'll visit when I can. But that may be some time.
And now Daemon Targaryen. The unorthodox ways of Daemon Targaryen. He's as unconventional in combat as he is in political affairs. You'll often see him operating very smartly, carefully calculating his moves and considering the opponents. On the flip side, you'll see him going haywire, only to achieve his target. There are two sides to this fighter, the erratic and the logical. We've seen much of Daemon on screen, the duality of his character and his perfect blend of combat skill and logic. His role as Lord Commander and General during the Triarchy War gave him a reputable standing. His beloved Dark Sister sword gives him the upper hand in fights. Vaemond would know.
My crown and the stepstones are yours.
We know you've been patiently waiting for this one, but we saved the best for the last. Last up, Sir Criston Cole. We've been trying not to pick favorites, but it would be unfair not to give Sir Criston that position. In all honesty, the knight reminds us a lot of Jon Snow. He's one of Westeros' most highly skilled combatants, the only knight able to defeat Daemon Targaryen, who has never before lost. Sir Criston was quite the opposite before being dismissed by Rhaenyra. He took the rejection to heart a bit too extreme and changed his whole personality into this undefeatable monster. Not only does he possess talent and skill, but he's clever with his opponents. His ability to read his opponents was well depicted during the fight with Sir Eric Cargill, who lost to him. All we can say is beware, because we certainly want to face a real-life Criston. Our brave knights and lords have proved their abilities as impressive combatants. Naturally, we're inclined to lean more towards a few of them, and the jury's big on fan-favorite Criston Cole. We can't wait for another season. Until then, let us know what you think is the strongest fighter. That concludes our video today. Tell us your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content just like this.